Hi everyone, and welcome to Expat Republic's first ever YouTube video. Welcome to our YouTube channel. We are here to help you with your move to the Netherlands and to live comfortably and enjoy a wonderful time in the Netherlands. My name's Kareem, I'm from Canada. I've been living here 13 years in this beautiful country. Don't mind my buddy Earl. This is what happens when there's not a lot of sunlight. Probably got to give him some water. So happy to have you. And today we're going to be talking about the Dutch housing and how to find yourself a nice rental property for yourself. First off, I'd like to say there is a little bit of a housing crisis in the Netherlands. What's happening is the demand vastly outweighs the supply. The Netherlands is a very wealthy country with a lot of economic activity going on, and so you see the demand for housing has just shot up. I'd also like to point out that the Netherlands is in the top 30 most densely populated countries in the world. It has tons of jobs, tons of opportunities, loads of money flowing. Space, not so much. So, what's happening really in the Netherlands? We have about 17 million people with about 7.9 million houses. Additionally to those 17 million people that we have, there's a net migration of approximately 108,000 people in 2019 and 70,000 people in 2020. So as you can see that a lot of people are moving here simply because of the fact that there is a lot of economic activity, a lot of opportunity, and of course you can conduct business in English and work in English without a problem. So in addition to having tons of people and loads of migrants coming in from all around the world, what else is driving the Dutch housing crisis? Well, in fact, what you see is loads of investors are pouring money into the Netherlands. A lot of Airbnb meant for tourism. As it stands now, there's about a shortage of about 300,000 homes in the Netherlands, and we do foresee that this shortage will continue on for several more years. So how much does it cost to rent a place in the Netherlands? That all really depends on where you live. It goes for about 17 euros per square meter, but that really depends on which city you live in. In the larger cities such as Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Utrecht, and Leiden, as well as Eindhoven, you will probably pay significantly more than the average. If we look at Amsterdam, for instance, the cost goes anywhere between 22 to 25 euros per square meter, which is kind of outrageous. So for example, a 100 square meter apartment is going to cost you 2,500 euros per month, which is insane when you consider it in comparison to the average salary in the Netherlands, which is about 36,000 euros per year, which is about 3,000 euros per month. So all you have really left to live with is 500 euros. Cities outside Amsterdam, such as The Hague, will go at about 16 euros per square meters. Utrecht will go at about 17 euros per square meters. And you're looking at Rotterdam, also about 16 euros per square meter. These are all great cities to live in. Keep in mind, within each city, the prices can vary drastically between the center and just outside the city center. Just simply crossing to be outside the city center can save you several hundred euros per month. So it's really important to select wisely on where you want to live. So, in this maze of housing crisis, how does one find a place to live? What do you do? First of all, you got to be really quick. Secondly, is you got to check out the various housing portals. The first one being Pararius, probably the most famous and largest in the Netherlands, link below. You're also going to want to consider looking at some of the room portals such as Kamernet, Huurstand, also linked below. They feature loads of rooms if an apartment is not within your reach financially. So one of the things you may want to consider doing is going with an estate agent. It's reliable, they know the market, they're going to know the pricing. However, it will cost you approximately 1 to 2 months rent. Keep in mind that the word estate agent is not a protected profession in the Netherlands, such as a doctor or lawyer, so do make sure that you go with someone a little bit more reputable. We've put loads of very reputable estate agents in the link below. Do consider checking them out. If you are in the market for buying a property, do check out Funda. That's the largest for buying, and of course, it's always better to buy rather than rent, especially if you're going to be here for more than 3 years. One of the main problems we see is that many expats, they come here and they get stuck because they're not able to find a place. No problem. What we suggest you do is take a short stay apartment for some time until you get yourself settled in and find the right place that you can call home. Keep in mind that if you are looking at a hotel, it is going to be pretty expensive. So I do advise you to maybe consider a short stay is a better option. So, although the Netherlands does have a very high safety rating and crime rate is quite low, you do need to be very aware of scams. Keep in mind that scammers know you're new to the country. there's a housing crisis and that you're desperate and that you want to act fast. But don't let emotion get in the way so that you can avoid getting scammed. So a few tips that'll keep you safe from scammers. First, check out the place. Make sure that you can actually visit it and that it exists. A quick Google Street View will help you do that it's not some landfill or some dump or a place where Earl might be. The next thing you're definitely going to want to do is the person you're engaging with, whether it's the landlord or the estate agency, this assumes you haven't arrived to the Netherlands yet, is definitely just try and size them out, try and scope them out and see what kind of person they are, right? For instance, some red flags is a non-Dutch number, because why would someone be renting a place to you if they don't actually live here? There is one exception, of course, other expats that have left. Those are the best kind of landlords because they're not here to chase up on you, but you're definitely going to want to need a management company to make sure that if something breaks, someone will be there to fix it for you. So when you're scoping out the person that's going to rent it out to you, make sure that they don't have a negative or bad attitude towards you, or that they don't rush you or pressure you. One of the things that you can do in the event that you feel that you are being overcharged by a renter is to go to the Huurcommissie or the Dutch Rental Board. The Huurcommissie administers all the laws and to ensure that people are paying a fair rent for the place that they're in. That's why if you go through an estate agent, odds are they're going to make sure that it's correct. One thing which isn't a scam is you will definitely have to put down between 1 to 2 months rent as a deposit. Getting that deposit back can sometimes be a bit tricky, but we'll definitely discuss that in another video. Another thing that's super important is don't send any money until you've seen the place, sized up the area, made sure that it's there, that you can register. Don't send any money until you're sure that you can live there and that it's legit and that it's a legal place to rent. Another thing you're going to have to do is to check out that you can actually register for the place. You see, the Dutch government requires that everyone living in this beautiful country register at the gemeentehuis or town hall. So you're definitely going to want to have to call the town hall before you sign a rental agreement to make sure that that place you can actually legally live there. Because if you don't, you may have residence permit problems later on, especially if you're outside Schengen or EU countries. Definitely before you move in, you're going to have to sign a rental agreement. Make sure you go over the rental agreement and that it's consistent with Dutch law. You're definitely going to want to have your rental agreement in English just to make sure that you can understand. That will make life a lot easier for you so you know what you're actually signing. I can imagine that many expats that come here can't really speak Dutch. It does take some time to learn, but in the beginning, you're probably forgiven. In order to reduce the price of housing, the Dutch government has enacted a number of policies, which is increasing the number of houses by investing and helping and supporting investment into new projects such as the Melkfabriek, Leeds Leiden, Tudor Park, as well as many others. Another thing the Dutch government has done is slapped on a lovely new 8% tax for investors. So if you are an investor, you are now paying an extra 8% transfer tax when you buy a place and you want to rent it out to other people. Thirdly, the Dutch government has enacted new regulations to make it a little bit more harder for investors and for people to rent out their properties in such a way that it makes it unprofitable. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We hope some of these tips have helped. Don't hesitate to reach out to me directly at hello@expatrepublic.com for your questions. And of course, smash the like button, subscribe to get updates. Do check out the links below, as those will be very helpful in your housing search. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next video. Mwah.